Ciao Bella, my friend. How are you?
Ciao, Joy. Very well, thank you. Greetings from warm and beautiful Dubai.
Looks beautiful. I miss Dubai. We miss you guys.
Thank you. I miss you too. I hope to see you soon with your family. You should come back.
Yes, we want to come back to Dubai soon, and at least me and Sheridan. So, but
Wonderful. Wonderful.
you just seeing, I can see the architecture, the houses behind you, the trees makes me
Oh,
miss
yeah.
that
Yep.
Dubai. I can
Yep.
almost feel the humidity.
I know the humidity is starting, but it's part of the wonderful Dubai. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It's a free sauna also outside a little bit.
Yeah, free sauna. That's a good way to put it for over 100 days. Well, Giovanni, you are one of my favorite people in the
Ah,
entire world.
thank you.
You're a fascinating, fun person that does a lot of good. And so thank you for coming on. I'm really excited to talk to you. But
Thank
first
you.
tell me, uh, where'd you grow up and how has that helped shape who you are today?
Thank you. No, thank you very much, Joy, for this opportunity. My name is Giovanni Criscione. I grew up in Sicily. I was born in a small town called Ragusa in the very south of Sicily. So I studied there. My best friends are still from Ragusa, and then I decided to go around the world, so I studied law. I became a doctor in law, and then I took a master's in international relations and diplomacy, and I moved to Rome. And Rome is Rome. Rome caput mundi, bella
Yeah.
la dolce vita. No, but I studied and worked a lot there. And then I start working for the United Nations in New York. So back in 2003, ages ago, I moved to New York. Second time in my life there. I was so young and emotional. And I start my international career, I would say, there in New York City. I really had the opportunity to meet so many people from all over the world. This podcast is very interesting because you are mentioning 100 countries, and I had the opportunity there to meet 196 country representatives.
Wow.
So the world was all covered, and I had the opportunity really to meet with people that I'm in touch still with. So good relations. And I really love the field of protocol and cultures, to get to know different cultures. Because Joy, look, it's interesting the way we behave, the way we react to different circumstances and different challenges is completely different than the way our friends from other cultures, other countries and stuff, they react. So I learned a lot. I was able really to have the opportunity to learn more and having the desire to visit their countries. So in my life so far, I think I visited more than almost 70 countries, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I want to continue to do
Amazing.
that. Yeah. But after New York, I moved back to Rome. I worked there for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then I did the Olympics in Torino, 2006. And
Mhm.
it's where I met my wife, Rachel, 20 years ago. And then after the Olympics, I started the idea. I mean, not me, but my good friends actually. They started with the idea to do a bid to host an expo, a world fair
Mhm.
in Milano, in Italy. So, and I was part of the group that started the bid. So
Yeah.
we traveled all over the world with the mayor of Milan at that time.
Mhm.
And then in 2008, we won the bid. And
Amazing.
we were like, wow, now we're going to host the world in Milano.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting and special for me. In the meantime, we had three children. They were all born in Milan during that time of Expo. So I spent 10 years in Milan serving the government of Italy and helping organizing Expo. in the international relations field, international affairs and relations, and protocol as well. And
Wow.
then, by coincidence, I took care of the UAE delegation that was there visiting for their special National Day celebration in Expo in Milan. And they asked me, "Would you like to join our team one day?"
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I would be honored, but I'm still working for the Italian government, for Expo. Say, don't worry, don't worry. At the right time, just to know if you will be interested to do that. But ask your wife before, and even if I'm sure that your wife, your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I received an offer, and now I am here. This was almost 10 years ago,
Wow.
2015, when
That's
I received
amazing.
the offer and we decided to move. Yeah, and since then we've been living in here, enjoying really the special culture here. We love our brothers and sisters really
Yeah.
here in the UAE. They are really special people. I had the honor to work with so many Emirati and so many GCC representatives, and
Yeah.
I love their culture. I love their love for families.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
thank
And
you, Joy.
oh man, and you said it so well. There's just the culture. It makes me really want to go back to Dubai right now. But and we love your family. Rachel and your
Thank
kids are
you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
They, you've got an awesome family. And actually, that's how we got to know each other is my dad served a church mission in Italy and they were back in Milan visiting and they randomly stumbled into you and Rachel and became friends and that's a fun story in itself. But
I
then
love.
when we were in Australia and I took an offer to move to Dubai, my parents were like, "Oh, you need to meet Giovanni and Rachel."
Yep. Yeah,
And
your parents
then
are wholesome. I love
uh,
them.
my parents, I'm so grateful for good parents. And so,
Yeah, I remember with you when you first arrived, like to look for a house. You
yeah,
remember I was hunting, so I was accompanying you. Let's go here. Let's go there. This
yeah.
community is nice. Da, da, da. That was the beginning.
Oh
That's
man.
crazy.
And I owe you a lot. You were the first person to kind of take me around and give me the lay of the land and,
Thank you.
learn the Emirati way. And like you
Yep.
said, their culture is so different, but it's so wonderful and so
Yep.
welcoming and so
Yep.
familiar because, you know, one of my family's big things is family. And that's like the
Yes.
number one priority in the Gulf.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. Yeah. And we miss you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully we come back soon.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to circle back and talk about your work in Dubai because you've brought the whole world to Dubai, literally. And it's fascinating. But first, I want to know a little bit more about Sicily. What's a childhood memory or tradition that it still influences you today?
Oh, wow. Sicily is a wonderful place, wonderful. When they ask me, so where are you from? I say from Sicily, and not first. I mean, I'm Italian, of course, but it comes to my mind always Sicily because I learned so much living in Ragusa, like the value of the family, the value of helping each other all the time, the warm hospitality that is in our DNA. Um, I remember many times being at church and having some visitors that they came to visit Sicily,
Mhm.
and they always told us that they were so happy about the hospitality. Like one day, this couple from the USA came and visit. They were in Ragusa. I just saw them. They were new in our world. I mean, in our branch at that time was only a branch, and I took care of them. I just shared the hymn, even if it was in Italian, this kind of stuff. And they told me, "Look, we like so much your kindness, like your people here in Sicily, kindness." And they told me this story that they were in Siracusa. Siracusa is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful city. There is like a Greek theater. You should go and visit with your family,
I'd
Joy.
love to.
And yeah, and they ask this for Fontana Retusa. Fontana, it's like a beautiful place in the center.
Mm.
And they start explaining to them where it was. And then they say, look, madam, sir, it's easier if I accompany you. So this guy was probably, they say, like 20, 25. His English was okay, you know. They understood each other. He just accompanied them for like 10, 15 minutes walking in the street and stuff. And as soon as he accompanied there, he said, enjoy now. And he left. You know, he didn't ask for money, he didn't ask. And this couple was so shocked. And they say, this guy was so kind. It doesn't happen all the time that a person just stops everything for 15, 20 minutes, accompanies guests. So this is us in Sicily. We try to be hospitable, we try to help each other, and we try to eat well.
Yeah, very.
We love food. One of the traditions was the Sunday, lunch
Yep.
after church, going home with my aunt, with my parents. My aunt, she's still alive. My parents, but unfortunately, they are somewhere else. You know,
Yeah.
they're looking from above to us. But my aunt is still alive. She's 90 years old. She's the best chef in the world.
Oh man.
And every Sunday, we're waiting for gnocchi, for ravioli that we made the day before together. Like, so there was this tradition to make gnocchi from scratch, ravioli, la parmigiana, and there we were enjoying these things that we created together. I mean, 99% of the job was done by my hand. We were just pretending to help a little bit. But I have wonderful traditions of conviviality,
Mm.
spending time together around a table with amazing food.
Mm.
We try still to continue these traditions here. So every Sunday is a special meal. Sometimes we, with the kids, with Charlotte Isaac and Ezra, we created our, and Rachel, of course, she's the director.
Yeah.
I'm the supervisor always.
You're the
But
boss.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to supervise, but Rachel is an amazing chef, and the kids love also to do something together sometimes. So next Sunday, actually, we're going to do gnocchi from scratch here
Man,
in Dubai again as an activity, family activity.
you're making me hungry. And
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, I've been to your house for those Sunday dinners and it's amazing. And you're the one that taught me about proper mozzarella,
Oh
bufala.
yes,
It's got to be
yes, la
right.
bufala, mozzarella di bufala is different, from Campania.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah, and
Well, you do a good job of doing that with your family and showing others the same love and making them want to do it. So good for you. Um,
thanks.
Now, Joe, we've known each other for many years now. And has there been a project or moment during that time that's been super challenging or super stressful and it just seemed like it was going to fall apart, but then it ended up being super rewarding for you? Like there was a silver lining to it.
Yes, I think several of these moments I experienced, but I would say the most interesting, challenging, and rewarding at the same time was the expo experience.
Yeah.
The expo experience. We moved here in 2016. We were pioneers, the beginners of expo. I remember a lot of dignitaries wanted to come and visit expo, and we explained to their embassies that there was desert at the moment.
Yeah.
But they wanted to come anyway. And I remember the first visit I was involved with was with now King Charles.
Wow.
The time was Prince Charles. And and it was so interesting because uh, I used the red carpet for the first time.
Mhm.
So we were in the middle of the desert with this small office with just very few of us working. And Her Excellency Rim Malashmi, she's amazing. She was our Director General and she was the Minister of State for International Cooperations. She's amazing. I learned so much from her. and it's a blessing to know her. So we received him, and we, Her Excellency Rim, show like the desert,
Yeah.
the place where Expo was going to be built, and she said there will be the UA pavilion, then there will be the like the UK pavilion will be
Mhm.
there, and then I said the Italian pavilion, of course, will be over there on the right. And Prince Charles, I remember, was looking at us like we were like crazy because there
Yeah.
was nothing. And then he said, "You must have a vision."
Yes, you
and
did.
indeed, and indeed, just challenging because we had also the COVID. COVID stopped everything.
Yeah.
We had to postpone Expo for 1 year. So it was supposed to happen and open the gates, if you remember,
Yep.
in October 2020, but we had to postpone for 1 year. That was really challenging because nobody was really, like we didn't know what was going on in the world.
Yeah.
We know that we had a mission that we had to accomplish and was to deliver Expo, the most exceptional Expo ever. Uh, Besides all these difficult circumstances, we knew what was our mission. And we did it. We deliver. I mean, endurance was incredible. Leadership here in the UAE is incredible.
Hmm.
So we had the blessing and the help from all their highnesses, and it was an incredible expo. Really, we hosted the world. I will never forget those moments where we were kind of worried, sad, sometimes desperate because we didn't expect those moments of so many challenges. But
Yeah.
then resilience, and then the the dream, the vision that we had through our also leadership
Yeah.
was incredible. And despite all these difficulties, we had the opportunity to receive the world and really learn from each other. That was incredible to have all the cultures of this world present in here. We have 192 countries represented, so almost all the world was here, all the cuisine, all the traditions, all the cultures. When Expo finished, I cried. It was like so hard to accept that the Expo closed the gates.
Yeah.
And I was not the only one. All of us, I think, we felt the same. And our big boss, Her Excellency Rim, says always, "Once Expo, always Expo."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. And you guys more than
thank you.
delivered. And I think, like you said, like it was a crazy time in Dubai, but the silver lining really was it almost ended up being the best thing ever because of, like you said, the leadership of the Emiratis pushing forward and real. I feel like they helped reopen the world
They
because
did.
they looked at it and said, okay, we're going to take the safety measures, but once you do that, you come in here and let's get back
Yep.
to normal. And they leveraged Expo to bring the world together. And I feel like that was the beginning of the end of COVID is what Dubai did because of you guys. And so it was just like it was a spectacular event. My family went many, many times and
Thank you.
we had those passports. We got them stamped up by, we didn't
I
get to all
know. I know.
192, but man, we got
Yep.
to a lot and that was so cool.
Yeah, unforgettable moments. Unforgettable moments. This is a quote from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He was the vice president of the UAE, and he's the prime minister, and he's the ruler of Dubai. And he says always, here in the UAE, we don't wait for opportunities, but we create them.
Yeah.
So we created an opportunity altogether to host the world and to make a difference in the world.
Hmm.
Our when we did the meetings, like in 2016, 2017, when we were in the middle of the desert in our office and we had the vision to create something unique. I remember there was a sort of a majlis meeting where the leadership asked us, how do where I mean what is the parameter that you think Expo will be successful? And everybody was saying, yeah, if we are going to have 20 million plus visitors, if we are going to have 180 countries minimum, and then we had 192. And then when it was my turn, I said, I think the success will be if 50 years after, they will still talk about Expo. Because
Good.
we did something 50 or
Sure.
100 years after, if we talk still about Expo,
Yeah.
that's the real success. And everywhere and every time here you address international things, there is Expo always involved.
Yeah.
Because think about that. Abraham Accords were signed during that time.
Yep.
A lot of relations were uh, reinforced during that time. So it was an opportunity, a platform also to enhance relations between countries. Was an opportunity really neutral field to meet with people from all over the world in a peaceful environment to
Yeah.
learn from each other. So that's Expo, and I'm
Oh, man.
excited that I'm a little bit involved in Osaka now as well. That opening on the 13th of April. Yeah, in
Wow.
Japan.
Amazing. So, Osaka, you're involved in that one. And really quick, going back to Dubai, I think my family will be talking about Expo in 50 years. It was just magical. I remember riding on the golf cart with you, getting a little bit of a VIP tour every now and then, and going
Yes.
to the Italy pavilion, and they had a full like 100% replica of the statue David. Like incredible.
Yes.
Amazing stuff in every
Yes.
pavilion,
Yes.
food, the cold,
Yep.
like we learned so much, and that was eye-opening. So, and also
Thank you.
I gotta say, a little inspiring for me. Like we're going and visiting, 100 countries, and that was part of the inspiration for me. Being in Dubai, it's easy to travel, but that's one of my big passions now is I want to visit 100 countries because of Expo.
Wow. That's wonderful. I'm so happy that you had this inspiration. And that's why we are here to talk, probably.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think now about, you know, covering countries and talking about them. Yeah, wonderful.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Joy. That's very exciting. Yeah, life is interesting. And what we need to learn from each other, I think that's the most important thing that we can do. Learn from each other, respecting each other, and the world will be better for sure.
Absolutely. Well, good luck with the Osaka with the new Expo. I'm sure it'll be demanding, but everyone should go to Japan. It will be great.
Yep, yep. And the next one in 2030 will be hosted in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. I cannot wait for that as well.
Wow.
It'll be so exciting.
Are
Yep,
they
amazing.
talking to you about helping in Riyadh?
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe. Okay, I like that. I've had a few maybes before with you, including you being instrumental in why the temple is being built there in Dubai, which is super cool. But for another conversation, all I know
Yeah,
is you're a deal maker and a peacemaker and a magic man. So,
thank you. Thank you, Joy. I try.
well,
Very good.
what, Giovanni, what's something that you're really proud of with your Italian culture?
Wow. The Italian culture is so vast. The I love music. I love opera. When you think about Italy, the first thing you think is like what? Sometimes pizza,
Right.
pizza. No, Italy is culture. It's opera. It's classical music. I love really classical music and opera. I grew up with my mother singing opera. She was not a professional. She was telling me that her father, Giovanni, like me, was playing the piano and she was singing. All the La Traviata, like Puccini, Donizetti. And I grew up with my father listening to classical music and opera, laying in the couch, closing his eyes, and I can see tears coming out from his eyes. I was 4, 5, 7, 10 years old. And then when I was 12, 13, I understood why tears were coming because I started having the same reaction. So I think I'm so proud about Italy for the culture that we have, for the everlasting masterpieces that we create in art, in music, in opera, in architecture. I think about Michelangelo, we say.
Mm.
We think about Leonardo da Vinci. Think about the geniuses that they were born in Italy, and 500 years after, 600 years after, 700 years after, maybe in the medieval time, we are still talking about them.
Yeah.
So, Italy for me is so small. We are like just a little, drop in the universe.
Mhm.
But I feel that it's really eternal. And when I go to Rome, I had the opportunity to study and work there for many years. When you just walk there uh, among the Roman ruins, from the Colosseum to go to the Altare della Patria, and you do the Fori Imperiali, you can breathe the history.
Mm.
Like you can really feel their vibes at that time, and it's magical. It's
Yeah.
magical. So when you ask me about Italy, it's all in me, all
Yeah.
my body, the vibes.
Yeah.
When you, because I love Italy, and I I really hope that one day we can really share like more this special culture that comes out from Italy, because I feel that we are losing a little bit that there is too much, and I don't want to start on another
Yeah.
conversation, but there is too much AI, there is too much metaverse, there is too much artificial stuff.
Sure.
Just go and enjoy Italy. Go and see with your eyes, not with other things.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the culture, immerse yourself in the music, in the opera, in the culture of Italy, and go and visit this beautiful country in person if you can. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and as you're walking the roads to the Coliseum, it also helps when you've got a nice cup of gelato.
Oh, yes, yes.
Now,
Wonderful.
one of my favorite things that I was surprised, like, yeah, everyone loves pizza. In Italy, we have to thank for that, but we were in Positano, and this was my first time having that lemon slush, the granata. Oh my goodness,
Yeah, granita
granita.
di
Okay,
limone. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
that man, that's something that I still think about and like wish I had. I want to walk the streets of Positano and eat the granita.
It's Granita is incredible. Every time I go to Italy, and especially in Sicily, one of the first things I do as a tradition is to go to Ibla. Ibla is like the old town of Ragusa. Um, and there are two gelato places where
Yeah.
they make the best granita in the world.
Oh
And
man.
I do granita di mandorla, almond granita, with like some cream and some like toasted almonds on top.
Oh
It's
wow.
it's incredible. It's
Wow.
like wow. that's that's one of my when you say what are your like peccati di gola, we say
Mhm.
sins. That's my favorite thing to do, enjoying the granita di mandorla, just there, enjoying sitting on this little cafe and overlooking at the Duomo
Mm,
of the Duomo. It's the cathedral there,
sure.
and enjoying and looking also at the tourists and the people that are enjoying
Yeah.
the granita or gelato or
Yeah.
anything that is there, delicatessen,
Yeah.
prelibatezze.
Well, that's good. Well, you heard it here first. Try the granita and you've got to have bufala, the right mozzarella.
Yep, yep. Enjoy.
Um,
Before maybe bufala and then bufala
yeah.
mozzarella and pizza. And then you finish your beautiful meal with something special like granita.
Yeah, and then go to Criscione's house for some homemade gnocchi. So
Yes, that's always open.
now you've
Or
met
ravioli, ravioli di ricotta.
ravioli. Ooh, sounds really good. You've met kings and
Mm.
prime ministers and heads of state and rulers from all around the world. I mean, you've told, well, we could talk for hours. You have some fascinating stories. And you've visited many of their countries. You've hosted them, you've been hosted, but where's your favorite place to travel and why?
Wow. It's very hard to say, Joy, because I really love traveling. I told you at the beginning, I think that I am almost at 70 countries that I had the opportunity to visit, and I want to visit more and more. They are all diverse. The world is unique, and wherever I go, I just enjoy different atmospheres, different cultures, different food. Um, Look, I really liked Costa Rica.
Mm,
Costa Rica, I remember I went there with Rachel, my wife, and Charlotte was only, I think, 6 months old, and we went to Costa Rica. We spent a few days there with Rachel's siblings and parents and family, and I remember how beautiful it was. Everything, like people, the food, everything was so fresh as well. Different than, of course, Ragusa, my hometown.
mm,
The food there, pineapple for breakfast. They were jumping on the tree and cutting, this pineapple, and they were cutting, and that was our breakfast. Coconuts. I mean, I loved everything there, and Costa Rica was one of the highlight of my trips. I love Thailand. Living here in Dubai is so amazing because maximum like 7 hours, 8 hours, you reach basically half of the population of the world, I
yeah.
think. So it's incredible. So we've been to Sri Lanka, and it's a beautiful place. Maldives and Seychelles, incredible nature there. Malaysia, I like Malaysia as well.
Mm,
Um, uh, One time we went to Morocco, and I will never forget the colors
yeah.
in Morocco. The colors in nature, but the colors also in architecture,
Yeah.
the houses, the beautiful doors. I
Mm,
think it's so hard to say which country you love the most because every country is unique. And I think we need to really tre- treasure in our mind and heart every single trip that we do in our life.
yeah.
Because if you think, probably in your experience as well, um, there are countries that touch your heart, your soul, and in different ways. And every country is special, I think. So there are a lot. Of course, the USA is incredible. I've been there probably 50 times in my life. I was
Sure.
17 years old the first time I went there. And I will never forget the feelings that I had when I was in front of the Grand Canyon.
Mm,
You feel so small,
yeah.
and you can enjoy like the God's creatures. Like you can see something that is so breathtaking. And then doing Colorado, I mean, rafting in the Colorado River, that was
Yeah.
an incredible experience. I was like, am I still alive? At the end, I was like, but it's incredible, like the opportunities that every country gives to you, the experiences. I think what we need to do in our life is to create memories
Mm,
for our children, for our spouses, for ourselves, for our friends. I think creating memories is one of the most important things. And everywhere I have the opportunity to go so far has been a wonderful opportunity to create um, amazing memories in different fields. But when I go to Sicily, food number one.
food is number one. Yeah. I like that rule in general for any country, try the food. But I love that the memories and like, and if you're smart like you just host a World Expo and everyone comes to you and it's easy to see
Yep,
everything.
yep,
Now,
yep.
here's a random question. So, yeah, who's been some of the most interesting people you've met? You know, these high-ranking officials from around the world. Like, who was really fun or really cool or really funny or really weird?
um, I it's hard again to say because I had the pleasure to meet many of them. Um, the King of Tonga. I like the King, His Majesty to put the sixth, the King of Tonga.
Hmm.
I remember something special that happened because when we heard that the King of Tonga was coming to Expo to visit Expo here in Dubai, we were like, "Oh wow, okay, we need to arrange." He's a head of state, he's a king, so that was the second time I had to use the red carpet
Hmm.
in Expo. Prince Charles before, and then the king to this and he arrived and protocol and everything and then we there were sheikhs receiving, there was their excellency as well, and you are not supposed to talk to him, you're supposed to just receive and unless you are it. And I remember that we start walking and then visit and me, and then on the way out, I felt that I had to break the protocol. So I say, like out of the blue, I look at him and say, "Your Majesty, uh, I love your country." And in my room in Sicily, there is still a wonderful picture of the Nuku'alofa LDS temple
Mm.
in my wall, in my little room in Sicily. And then when I finished to do that, I have no idea why I say that. Um, I was worried. Now I'm like fired because you are
Yeah.
not supposed to address the king like
Yeah.
that. You are not supposed to talk about religion.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I didn't say anything special. And he looked at me and he said, "Are you Mormon?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints." "That's amazing. My son is a member of your church and he goes to the temple there, Nuku'alofa, the one that you mentioned, every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't
Wow.
know what he does, but he's very happy to be a part of the." And I was so emotional at the moment because I didn't expect this conversation, Joy. I
Yeah.
didn't expect, and everybody there around me, like high level people from the UAE and other guests, and they were like, "What's happening in here?" So that was the longest conversation that the king had, like very informal.
Yeah.
And I felt privileged. And he told me, "You and your family are welcome to come to our highland
Mm.
anytime. You are my guest. Please let me know." And let him know. And he just show, like he indicated his ambassador that was
Yeah.
there. "Please make sure that we stay in touch, and whenever he wants to come and visit the temple in Nuku'alofa, he will be welcome by us." So that was a very neat experience. You never know sometimes, things how they go.
Sure.
But I enjoyed him. I enjoyed meeting a lot of interesting head of states and government and ministers and celebrities, and it's hard to I mean, if I start mentioning, then there is every single like detail about little things that happen with them that would be too long. We need
Sure.
to do time, but I love the simplicity of most of them. We
Yeah.
think that because they hold that position, sometimes they are not approachable. They are not, they are very different, and but they are human being, and
Mhm.
I often enjoyed uh, their their company, the conversation, um, and their love for families as well. Yeah.
That's that's awesome. So have you been with the family to Tonga yet?
Not yet. We were
Okay.
talking last week with the kids. Ezra, little Ezra say, Papa, when are we going to Tonga? I say, let's see, we should go there.
Oh man, Ezra's awesome.
Yeah, we
Tell
should definitely.
tell him hi. I remember the first time we were hanging out at your house and Ezra was just a little guy and he didn't know how to swim, but he just booked it and ran away and jumped into the swimming pool and I saw you running after him. He's a funny kid.
Yeah, yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, he's a funny kid and very smart.
If if you could
Lovely.
go back 10 years, Giovanni, and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
Uh, Learn more languages, maybe. I only speak a little bit of Italian, Sicilian. I studied Latin, of course. But nobody speaks Latin, but I like to speak Latin.
Sure.
I translated all the records of my family since 1131 from Latin to Italian. Yeah, it's amazing. I speak French, a little bit of English, and but I wish I could speak Arabic better.
Yeah.
Um, Japanese, Chinese. I mean, it's so incredible to learn languages. So 10 years ago, I wish I did another maybe three, five, 10 languages.
Oh man.
Uh, because when you speak in the language of your friends, of your counterpart, it opens the door incredibly.
Yeah.
And so I can see how rich are languages. So yeah, for sure, learning more languages that would have been a good opportunity. I still speak few, but not enough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Who's been a major influence in your life and why?
Um, I have a few mentors. One of them was our former scout leader in Sicily,
Mm.
Al Myers. I was 12, 13 years old when I had the opportunity to meet him. He was serving as military in the Air Force base in Comiso, in Sicily, US force. And he brought the Aaronic priesthood, the Scout, together with the Scouts of America, Boy Scouts of America at that time. So, when you are like just a young kid, I think that was the perfect time for us to learn how
Mm.
to do camping, how to really become better, making better choices, when you are teenagers and stuff. Um, and he was a good mentor for me for until now. He's retired now. We had the opportunity when I was 17. After 5 years, he was sent back to San Antonio, Texas. I was able to go there for the first time in my life in the USA. I was 17, and we arrived after like 24 hours flight journey to San Antonio, Texas, and then from there we went to visit with him. 12, 14 states. So
Oh,
we
wow.
left from San Antonio. I remember this little caravan. It was like we were calling it in Italian carrello tenda. We were stopping in a RV park, and then
Uh-huh.
we were opening these things, and it was perfect to sleep 7 people. I was there with my brother and with other friends from Ragusa, from the church, and Al Myers was our special guide. So we went to Yellowstone National Park, we went to Las Vegas and uh, Grand Canyon, and we visited all the west, and then we went to visit temples. We visited 22 temple sites in
Wow.
1 month that we spent in the west coast and Salt Lake City. We had the opportunity to meet by chance President Nelson. At that time he was elder Nelson, Robert K. Dellenbach, Elder Dellenbach, because
Mhm.
we became Eagle Scout,
Yeah.
and they received us for a little interview on New Era. So somewhere in there is an interview that I released in 2017. No, sorry, when I was 17 in 1991.
Mm,
Uh, the new year, they took pictures of us. It was fun with
that
all
was
the
awesome.
uniform Eagle Scout. We were the first Eagle Scout in Italy, and so good memories. Good memories there. So Hal was one of the mentors for sure. Of course, I love my mother and my father. I feel that they are always close to us, even if they are not physically with us anymore, with me. And I have good friends of mine. There is Greg Goff, is another friend of mine who is a special mentor. He was very close to me in a special time during a special time when I was living in Rome. I I really wanted to have start a family, and um, working was hard at that time in Rome. A lot of challenges and stuff, and he was very close to me, and I love him. Ciao, Greg. He lives in Utah.
Oh, great.
But I have other good, good mentors, and of course, the leadership in here, Her Excellency Rima Lashmi. She's my, she's incredible. One day we were together in Expo, and I was not in charge for this meeting that was happening because I was taking care of international relations and affairs for other countries. But when it was GCC, there was my colleague that was in charge. So that day I was relaxed, was only a local thing. And then I went there to just talk to the assistant of Her Excellency. And then suddenly the door opened, and Her Excellency looked at me, say, Giovanni, Giovanni, please come. And I was like, oh man, now I'm totally like ruined. I had no idea. Like she's gonna ask me now, what's happening with the delegation, if everybody's there. I have no idea because
Yeah.
it was not my delegation that day, so I have no idea. But you need to be ready always to answer. So I start panicking and stuff until a few seconds later, she approached the window of a wonderful studio office, and she said, "Look, Giovanni, look outside. The birds are there. They're coming back and forth from the tree to here, to my window. They're thirsty. They're hungry.
Mm,
Please, please talk to my driver. Tell him to go to the closest store to buy, like the water container. Make sure that it's plastic and it's not, like in steel because they're big and it will be too warm because outside is like 120 degrees,
yeah.
and make sure that they have food." And I was like, wow. I mean, there is a huge delegation of high level people waiting for her to
Hmm.
start, and she's here taking care of the nature,
Mm,
taking care of the birds, the creature of God. So for me, it was like uh, an experience that I will never forget, and that I share immediately with my wife and my kids. That we will share with my grandchildren, and we want to pass to for generations. She's amazing. For me, that was an incredible moment. She's so incredible. She has degrees, Harvard. She's a minister. She was the deputy ambassador of the UAE in Washington D.C. She's the big person, the person that arranged Expo, guided
right.
Expo, and and in that moment she was so connected with God. She was connected to the creator of God. And I will never forget that. So she's a mentor as well for me. Yeah.
Special. That's a really cool story.
Thank you.
Well, Giovanni, I feel like I could talk to you for hours and days and weeks just about cool stories and just thoughts. But
Good.
a couple quick
Thank you.
fire questions to end. You prefer mountains or beach?
I like both actually, but mountains maybe more.
Okay.
Because beach after a little while is too hot for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mountains. I like to breathe fresh air,
Yeah,
and yeah, probably mountains more than beaches. Yeah.
love it. What's a book or movie that you recommend?
Book. I like the Alchemist, Paulo
Mhm.
Coelho. Alchemist. I don't know the pronunciation, but
Yep.
Alchemist,
Uh-huh.
L'Alchimista. Yeah, I love that book. I like 100 Years of Solitude, also by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, a special book. Um, I'm recently looking at a book. I'm reading a book. It's called The Luminous Life.
Mm.
Very, very interesting.
Mm.
Very about light and relations, about ourself and the creation of God.
Mm.
So, very special book. Movies, I will never forget Shawshank Redemption. I've seen that movie many, many times. It gives
Yeah.
me so much power and strength and the resilience, the power of never give up. You know,
Yeah.
so that's a beautiful movie. But then I like, when there are like movies about CIA, FBI, like it's like relaxing. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of movies that are very top, like Mission
Absolutely.
Impossible. Yeah, but
And
anyway,
La
yeah.
Familia.
And
Now,
La Famiglia. There is actually an incredible movie that if you didn't see yet, Joy, you should watch it actually. It's called, in Italian, is Novecento, The Legend of 1900 by Giuseppe Tornatore. You should watch the movie, it's incredible. It's an incredible story based on an Italian book of Alessandro Baricco, which is another book that I love so much. It's called Oceano Mare. Um, Special movie. Yeah.
love it. I'll look it up. Well, Giovanni, I really appreciate your time. How can people find you or connect with you um, on
Um,
the internet?
I'm on LinkedIn. Giovanni Criscione, you will see with a picture of me in Expo,
Okay.
by Expo. I am on Instagram, but I'm not really. I don't post much, but LinkedIn probably
Okay.
is easier. Yeah.
I'll put that in the show notes and everybody, if I think Giovanni might be the most connected person in the world, at least that I know. So go connect with Joe on LinkedIn.
Thank you.
Yeah. But
Thank you. Thank
thank you,
you.
Giovanni.
And
I
let's
hope
start
to
to
see you
mow the
soon.
lawn now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
go do
Ciao,
that.
Joy. Thank you.
See you.
Bye
Ciao,
bye.
Bella. Bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Thank you.